Welcome to the Mental Health Unfiltered podcast by Stable Minds. My name is Sadie Sherran and I'm a director of Stable Minds, and today I'm joined by Millie Peel, founder and lead psychotherapist of Stable Minds. Anyone that knows Millie, she has been working with adults with complex difficulties in their mental health, anything from trauma, addiction, self-harming, and all the nasty things that you don't like to talk about. She's there to talk to you. She's also level 6 in children and young people's psychotherapy. So she's got all the credentials, and now we're just going to have a little bit of a chat with her. We've known each of us quite some time. And in 2020, when everybody was on lockdown, I used to see you in Knutsford with your umbrella sat on a bench. What was that all about?
Yeah, so I decided during lockdown to start the initiative, My Umbrella, Me and PTSD. It all began because I'd started on my counselling journey to become a counsellor, but I was only on my level 2 at the time. And it was a really lonely time for a lot of people. So I decided that I was going to go on a Tuesday morning, sit in my rainbow umbrella and just be there for anyone that needed to talk. So not in a counselling capacity, just as a human being, that if anyone needed to be there, anyone needed to talk, that I'd be there and they could do.
So you're a friendly face.
Friendly face, yeah.
Friendly face and a safe space.
Exactly.
Stable Minds. So what were the sort of people that used to come to see you? What did you learn from doing that?
Well, I remember sat there on the first morning, it was a Tuesday morning, and thinking, oh, what am I doing? Like, there's so much going on and in the world, and are people going to really want to come and sit on the bench with me? I thought it would kind of be people that were either lonely or older people. And it wasn't. It was people that had complex needs. And the first morning, 11 people turned up. And I think it really showed me that actually there's a massive need within Knutsford to have a safe space for people.
11 people on the first day. And did that continue?
Yeah. So the more kind of people found out about it, the more people came. And I was there with my therapy dog, Domino. So he was the main attraction, obviously. But yeah, it was really heartwarming. And I think at that time, there was so much disconnect with the world that something as simple as sitting on a bench with a rainbow umbrella, people just liked it. So now everyone knows me as the girl with the rainbow umbrella.
Yeah. I mean, even when we talk to people in the street, they still talk about that girl with the rainbow umbrella.
Yeah.
So how did you get from being a girl sitting on a bench with an umbrella to the founder of Stable Minds CIC, Adult Mental Health Walk-in Hub in Knutsford, and Stable Minds CYP, a specific custom-built centre for children? How did that happen?
I don't really know, to be honest. If someone had said to me 3 years ago when I was sat on that bench, look, this is what you're going to achieve, an amazing team, I wouldn't believe them at all. I think at that point when I was doing my level 2, I still didn't believe myself that I was actually going to become a psychotherapist. So academic-wise, I'm getting better, or I am better at it, but I never...
You put yourself down too much. It's obviously there.
It is there.
It just wasn't found in school, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I have just got the ability to jump into things with 2 feet and, just go with it. So the original Stable Minds that I first opened was just myself in a room. And I'd actually got
a few cheerleaders.
And a few cheerleaders, yeah. And I'd actually got that just before I'd qualified as a counsellor. So I think I signed for it in the January and I actually qualified in the May. But it took lots of doing up and...
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work. And then I took on a few placement counsellors and just started it like that. Got in touch with you to do the marketing side and everything. And then we just built it from there.
When did you feel like you needed to expand? I suppose probably more importantly, expand into the children's section of things, because originally Stable Minds was children and adults because you were qualified to look after children as well. But
so at that point I wasn't. So it was just adults. So it was 16 plus. And I think working one-to-one with adults kind of there was such a need for children and young people. And I think the more that you talk to people, the more that you realise how much help is needed within mental health.
Yeah.
So then it was the December time after it opened. So we'd opened in the January, the December time, and knew that we needed to expand. More people were coming. I was seeing a lot of clients, as well as being the founder, as well as trying to grow, and I was getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And then that's when Patrick came on board, the director. I've known Patrick for quite a long time. Absolutely amazing psychotherapist, and someone
He's
that
all
I
right.
trusted. Yeah.
If you're listening in, Patrick, anyway.
Yeah. And I always wanted Stable Minds to be a particular type of psychotherapist. And he's amazing, so he fitted the bill. So then when he came on board and we kind of had the talks about opening up another centre for children and young people, that was something that he was really, really passionate about. So then we opened that up in the January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, another January.
I know it's a theme, this, isn't it? Every January. What are we going to do next January?
Well, what have we done this past couple of weeks?
Yeah, so we've opened up the walking hub again. Stable Minds has always been about what the community needs. So us as directors could have one idea, but as long as the community is community driven, then that's what we kind of go with. So people kept coming to us going, we need a centre or somewhere that's a safe space that when you need support, you can knock on the door and there's someone there with a smile and a cup of tea. So that's what we opened. So
you do make a good brew.
It's definitely a good brew.
Yeah.
A coffee machine. Love it.
I think from my perspective, the walk-in centre is where it's sort of come full circle from the umbrella.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a picture of yourself on the wall on that with the umbrella in the walk-in centre. And this is an area where people who maybe don't just need that extra level of support from counsellors, which is available, but they can just come in for a cup of tea and it
just
feels very
be with us, just so it's a safe space. And the reason why that picture's up in the staff room is, as you picked up on before, I'm really good at putting myself down and thinking, I need to be doing more. So when you remember, actually it started with an umbrella at bench and me sat there, it kind of gives me that when grants are difficult to get in or you've got people that need support but it's hard to get the funding, it's just a reminder of actually you are achieving a lot and you can do it. It's just not straight away. So it's a nice reminder that. But I remember sitting with one of my first clients and it was a really, really tough session. And I remember when they left, there being a rainbow over, so the original Stable Minds looked out over the moor, where I used to sit, and there was a rainbow over the moor. So as I was looking out the window, and it was just a real moment of going, wow, we've actually got a true life umbrella now, rainbow umbrella in Knutsford. So it was really nice.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest thing about this journey?
Funding, I would say. It's really, really difficult because we're in an affluent area, or seen as to be in an affluent area, the funding pots are harder, so it's challenging. Again, like I said before, I wasn't that academic, so writing funding bids is tricky. So yeah, it's definitely getting the funding in to help the people that are calling up.
Where do you see it going? I mean, it's only just been January. You've just opened the larger centre. What's next?
So we've got some really exciting plans moving forward. I feel like we've got an amazing team and it's grown so much that the world's our oyster. So we've got some plans to move into Cheshire West as well. There's also talks about Trafford and Salford. So Stable Minds to become more of a bigger umbrella, bigger empire to help more people. There'll be outreach and education provision that's in the pipeline. Some really exciting things without giving too much away.
Really exciting. So this is our first episode of Mental Health Unfiltered. Why the name?
I think it's really important to just be and say it how it is. Call a spade a spade. I think there's a lot out there that's really, really edited. Whereas I'm quite good at just saying things how it is and working out as I go along. And I think it's quite nice to see that process. And
obviously we both have plans for where this podcast is going. What do you think people who want to subscribe to this podcast are going to look forward to over the next few months?
Real, raw, and inspired. I feel like we'll have lots of different guests on the show, lots of different insights, some insights to how therapy can look, and that it's okay to be vulnerable. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable, and that's okay.
So this has been the first episode of Mental Health Unfiltered by Stable Minds. And if you are struggling, please reach out and get help, either with ourselves or with another mental health provider. And if you're interested in everything that we're going to be talking about, mental health, therapy, the importance of being vulnerable and the strength that can come from within that, then please subscribe.